Hello. This is my video I'm gonna make. I've been wanting to make this video for a little while. I'm gonna talk about the pros and cons of the NHS. I'm gonna talk about what I think the positives are, what I think about the negatives, and just some thoughts from someone who lives in the UK. Right, let's talk about the positive for a start. It's good to have. It's good to have a social safety net, for there to be at least a backup for people who might not have the financial means to access healthcare in other ways. It's good to at least have it there for people who need it in case of emergencies. That's a positive, in my opinion. There's poor people in our country. There's every country, obviously, every country in the world. And so if they can't afford it, at least makes it so that in case of emergency, in case the worst case scenario ever does happen, which unfortunately does happen from time to time, and like buildings go on fire and people get severely injured, you want to have something there just to help them, just so it's always there in case you can't afford private and there's people can't get money from charities or what have you, and they're screwed. You want to at least have a minimum quality of life for the people in your society. You want firefighters, schools, hospital, police, army. You want to protect people from buildings on fire. You want to protect people from foreign invaders. You want to protect people from, like disease, obviously. So you'd have maybe a government-run disease agency. I think in America it's called the Chief Center for Disease Control or something like that. I think that was what Anthony Fauci, was a part of. So when it comes to the NHS in the UK, you'd want to have that just in case it's there, in case of emergencies. But I'm going to talk about the negatives. And this is the one I'm going to start with. It's like, I feel like there's no incentive to work extremely hard, but obviously there's a lot of incredibly hard workers. I'm not denying that for a second. There are countless incredibly hard workers in the NHS. But I think the reason why people would go private is, you've probably heard a few of these stories, like waiting times with ambulances. I actually know somebody who, the start of last year, he broke his leg when he fell down the stairs, and he had to wait 7 or 8 hours. He was waiting 7 or 8 hours before he could hopefully get an ambulance, before he ended up calling a taxi. And obviously the taxi can't come in and help him get out the house and get into the taxi, so he had to walk out with a broken leg to the taxi. Whereas an ambulance, they would come in, they'd wheel you out on a stretcher. They couldn't. The taxi man couldn't, and so he had to call for a taxi, 7-8 hour wait, which is ridiculous when you've broken your leg. And then he eventually went to the hospital, and I'll speak about myself. I'm currently not dealing with any major skin problems at the moment, but I've been waiting now for over a year to see a dermatologist. And so I can understand why you'd want to go private and that you get seen just like that. It's obviously it's the incentive structure. It's like, think of it like 5 restaurants, right? One of them makes you wait an hour. One of them makes you wait 45 minutes. One of them makes you wait 30 minutes. One of them makes you wait 20 minutes. One of them makes you wait 10 minutes, right? If you can wait 20, 30 minutes, then you'll be fine paying for maybe a bit of a lower price, but you've got to wait. Whereas the extremely fast, quick, instant, easy access one's 10 minutes. It's like, well, that's extremely expensive. Well, you'd think, obviously it would be different for person to person and how much personal savings they have. But if you're in an extreme hurry and you want to get on with whatever other problems or issues you're dealing with in your life, you'd want to get the 10-minute one, wouldn't you? You'd want to try and get as seen as quickly as possible so you can get on with what you're doing and enjoy the rest of your life, obviously. And so I just feel like the incentive structure with those 5 restaurants is this: they'd want to try and get as many customers as possible by serving the customer as fast as possible. If time is the main concern, obviously. If time is not really that important, then it's a different story. But if it's something like food, for example, like you're in a hurry, like different fast food chains, if somebody's moving at a snail's pace, then I can't imagine they'll be employed at Greggs or McDonald's or Costa Coffee or Starbucks or Burger King, whatever else, for much longer. And I think that's the main thought process, and that's the incentive structure, that's the mindset that goes on. And so I just want to say there's a positive to the NHS, but I say that's the main negative. Just got to end it there.